So you imagine you've searched for your dream home for past couple of years on Zoopla and various other search engines, and you finally found your beautiful, lovely home, and you are ready to move in. So I wanted to share a story about as to why it's crucial that you have your carpets cleaned before you move into your new dream home. So number one reason in my book is pet urine, simple pet urine. In our area, there's a lot of pets around and we are pet lovers around here, and with pets there are accidents, and it doesn't matter how well they're trained. At some point they have all been puppies and they've had an odd accident. Doesn't mean they're bad pets, it just means that they're pets. And I wanted to share this story. I was in this because it's just in my memory and I can remember it the best. So I was in this lovely 5-bedroom house, beautiful hard flooring downstairs, carpets on the stairs and all 5 bedrooms. And I was doing initial walkthrough with the landlady. Well, she wasn't the owner of the house rather. And I was going through with my UV light and it was starting to flare up. So I was explaining about pet urine, and obviously to address pet urine, it costs slightly more. There's an extra charge because I got to use this really amazing chemical that I have, which takes urine apart. It removes the odour and stain. It's really amazing. I'm actually importing from America, but well, that's not what the story is about. The story is about me going through this house and shining my UV light, and it sort of flares up a little bit. The light shines ever so slightly different. The light is reflected differently if there's pet urine. And so the husband overheard me talking about pet urine, so he was asking, would it actually smell if it's pet urine? Obviously it smells, so well, I'm sure it does. Without confidence, I don't know 100% that it's pet urine, but it's most likely to be. And especially in this particular case, there were quite a few stains, and especially in a hallway that we were walking, or rather landing, the upstairs landing, which was quite a long one, and it was an L shape. So there were quite a few puddles that were one next to another. So I couldn't really think of anything else what it could be, and I was pretty certain it's pet urine. So what he's done, the husband actually bent down to the carpet like that and smelled it out. I've never seen so disgusted face ever. He was so horrified by his discovery, by his nose. So there's a couple of children as well that were with us as well at the time, but the children got immediately ordered to go downstairs, which was pretty awful, to be honest, if you think about it, because these people are very nice people and look after their house proud. So they always, downstairs there's slippers and upstairs they just walk with bare feet. And to imagine that obviously your family member or your child would have walked upon these carpets that other ways looked pretty good. In many ways, some of them were even pristine, and then you realise they're actually walking like little Peppa Pigs in muddy puddles. Whereas a muddy pet urine with bare feet, that's awful. That I don't wish to anyone that. But that happened, and that's stayed in my memory. I always remember when I talk to people about pet urine as to the importance as to why you really want them to check off and make sure your carpets are cleaned properly, and going with a UV light, because there are more properties that have got pet urine than not when they're sold. I can't say that. I have to say that there are sometimes places where there's a little bit of it. Some places that there isn't any at all. And sometimes I go into a property and I think, well, this will have something, and then there's nothing. And sometimes people say, well, we've had something and we tried to do it ourselves, I'm pretty sure it's okay. And as long as people have used enzyme product, they've actually done a pretty good job. But the story was about the importance of cleaning your carpets before moving in and checking it with the UV light. And that is number one reason, that is as to why I'd never move into a house without inspecting it with my UV light first. And I just thought, if this could help you to decide maybe to have your carpets cleaned professionally, I'd like to promote professional carpet cleaning services, and I'm here. If you want your carpets cleaned, 01243 717466 is the best number to get in touch. And if you don't want to be like this family, well, these are really good guys. They just, well, they've been let down. Previous owners, obviously, how can you actually sell somebody a house? Obviously, they probably thought they'd clean it up. It wasn't visible to a naked eye, and they probably thought they've done a good job, so you can't really knock anyone. It's just for your peace of mind. If you have bought a new property to yourself, have it cleaned before you move in. And it's also the best time to clean when you've just purchased it, before the furniture arrives, because when heavy furniture arrives, there's no way it's possible to move a massive bookshelf, or nowhere that everything's going to be moved like it would before moving in. For example, if you had it cleaned before move-in, and then obviously you have it cleaned a year after, and you don't do under the bookshelf, well, it's okay, because carpet cleaning largely is about extracting soil. And under the big bookshelf, it's been cleaned last year, and nobody walks up on the carpet under the bookshelf. Maybe we need to get there with a vacuum cleaner to get rid of dust, but there's going to be no soil because nobody walks upon it. So that's the idea as to why it's more acceptable not to do it maybe on your annual clean if it's a very heavy bookshelf or a wardrobe or what have you else, than before moving in. And sometimes people contact me and they want the carpets cleaned once they moved in, and they try to move one room to another room. It's much harder. The best thing is, if you're in the process of buying a house, quite often I happen to be given keys by the estate agents. If you are in the process of buying a house, sometimes you can arrange with the previous owners that they allow the cleaning team to get on the property to make sure it's clean, ready for you. Then when you get the keys, it's clean already, sort of thing, whilst the transaction is still in process. And I have to say, I happen to be doing this quite a lot. I happen to be invited to properties that are being in process of transfer the ownership. So the ownership is transferred, but there's some final bits that it's not a final sort of, it's before the actual date of transfer. So that is possible, and I just want to encourage more people to do it if that's something that they could benefit from. Thanks for watching.